Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is another requested video. If you like requested videos or just my videos in general, be sure to hit that subscribe button, pretty please. But as always, let's get started. So as you guys could see, this is a video about BAH. And so I'm just going to be talking about it, giving a breakdown, my experience and my thoughts, and like always, just advice. So basically what BAH stands for is base assisted housing. And all military servicemen, women or men, get it once they get married. And you can get it before you get married, but you have to be a certain rank. And the way BAH works is it depends on the serviceman or woman's zip code and ranking. So for example, if me and Connor were to live in Seattle, our BAH would be higher because Seattle has a higher cost of living than Everett, where we live now. And so it just depends on the zip code, not just the state, but the actual area that your base is located, or the base that you're stationed at is located. And the way BAH is calculated is it basically takes the average cost of living for rent and utilities. I think it's about 70% rent and 30% utilities, and it kind of fluctuates between zip codes. And that's basically what BAH is. It's the average of rent, the average of utilities put together to form a number that you get for BAH. Now, you guys that have been with me from the very beginning know that young Brittany says, do not marry for the BAH, do not marry for the money. And when it comes to BAH, I think from the ages of 18 to maybe about 23, we are in this age of, we're just getting started in life, just starting out, we don't have a full-time job, we are making minimum wage, we're not making a lot of money. And so when this guy comes along and we really like him and we start to fall in love with him and he's making all of this money that's steady and it's there's really good benefits and there's this awesome income, we tend to think, oh my gosh, they make so much money, blah blah blah, I don't even know, just all of this awesome stuff, and we think that they make so much money, and we tend to say that the military when we're young makes a lot of money. And when you start to get older, and a lot of older women say no, the military does not make a lot of money, and the reason is because that BAH is only so there's the guy who is in the service, and then the reason that he gets BAH is because he has dependents. Now, dependents don't work like your taxes. They're not okay, 1, 2, 3, you have 3 dependents, that means you get this. With BAH, it's only dependents, you get this much. Does that make sense? So for me and Connor, I'm his dependent, and so we get a set amount of money in Everett, Washington. If there was a couple that, he was a serviceman, he had a wife and maybe 3 kids, he gets the same exact amount as me and Connor do, even though it's only 2 of us. So the same amount of money is supporting 2 people and also 5 people. So it's really important to not just be oh my gosh, I have all this BAH, I'm gonna spend all this money, because if you want to start a family, it's not, I'm gonna get extra money because I have a child now. You're gonna get the same amount of money as if you didn't have a child. So just be cautious when it comes to thinking that the military makes a lot of money, because it may be a lot of money just for you two, but when you have a child, when you want a bigger home, when you want a car, when you want extra things, it starts to look like not a lot of money, and you're oh my gosh, what the heck, where did all this money go? So just be careful when it comes to that. Another thing that I want to mention about BAH is the housing and saving a little bit of money. So when it comes to base assisted housing and on base living, most military housing is going to take your full BAH. Say you make $1,100. If you live in military housing, they're most likely going to take all of that $1,100. So something that I recommend, I'm a saver, I love to budget, I love to find the cheapest things. So my opinion is to find somewhere that's maybe close, maybe off-base living, not military housing, and find something that's maybe $900, so you can save $200 and put that towards, something else. Because if they take away all of your BAH, then you're left with maybe the leftover from last month's paycheck, or you're kind of living on scraps until in 2 weeks when he gets his next paycheck. And So just you're really gonna have to learn how to budget really well if you live in military housing. And military housing is usually for more so families. So if you're a couple, I recommend off base, but it really just depends on if you're wanting to save or if you just want to find something quick like military housing and you don't want to have to search for outside homes, and there's just a lot that goes into it. But I think off base is the most financially responsible decision if you're only two people and you don't want to just waste basically your BAH. So yeah, BAH is pretty simple. It really just depends on his rank again and the zip code that you're in, and it'll change every time you move. You don't need to do anything, it just automatically changes. And again, just be responsible with BAH, learn how to save, learn how to budget, and take care of your finances well. I will eventually continue to do more like budgeting videos and how I save money and budget and stuff like that, so it could potentially help you guys. But yeah, that's basically it for BAH. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!